he smells blood and he sees someone he knows he can beat, he just beats him over and over and over again. He's like kind of like a bully.
He is.
He's like, look at this little bitch ass Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm gonna run past him 11 times.
Look, I'm gonna show you. He can't defend. Bro,
that was like, I told you that was the joke with.
I'm telling you, I was watching that game. I'm like, I don't want Trent in Real Madrid. This guy sucks.
Interesting. Okay, should we get into what matchups?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, first one: Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. Bit of a surprise, but I mean, we talked about it briefly. Like, I wasn't convinced that like the striker issue was solved with Become Marino.
No,
you know
never
what I mean?
was solved with Marino.
Like I think fantasy people were clamoring to get Marino in their teams and just thought like, oh, this is the fix, and it just wasn't quite that. MLS Skelly red card after being subbed on 17 minutes in. Who has the record for the youngest player to be sent off multiple times in a season. That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. It was that was a very immature tackle he did. Like, it's honestly, like, from a kid, I'm not even surprised. So like, he's still a good player. He just made a bad decision.
And that's what happens when you play young kids. They're gonna make bad decisions, and it's super okay. And I think that's why a lot of times they try to like ease young kids in and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like this doesn't happen. Wan-Bissaka, 28.5 points. For my money, he was the best player on the pitch.
Dude, by far, when you're doing crossovers on Calafiori, he's too comfortable, bro.
I thought he looked good. I thought he was just moving up and down. He defended really well. He like shut down that whole side. I thought it was great. Bowen got the goal. He's definitely healthy and back, and there's no rust on that dude.
Nope.
Odegaard had died. I think a lot of Arsenal fans were pretty upset with Odegaard's performance. Just felt like these are the types of games that he would like unlock something, or he really needed to step up and do something. He just is not the same player.
Yeah, he had like a shot on goal that went far waywards. It was just
those are my favorite.
Nah.
A couple of fantasy notes from this. Calafiori got his first start since January 4th, and Ben White made an appearance. So, two key things. But as far as Marino not being the answer, I thought the whole team, Arsenal, like you mentioned, Odegaard, the attacking, they didn't look right, and Arteta criticized him afterwards too. So, I know he's not the long-term answer, but I still think he probably has fantasy value playing the striker there.
Honestly, Trossard looked like the only one that was impactful, and then Rice here and there, but it was only Trossard.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with the Marino is that when you play someone out of position at this level, at the highest level like this, it starts to show when people are prepped for it. In like the chaos of like the last 10 minutes of a game, the last 20 minutes of a game, you throw a big guy up there and like it might work. But I think with a week to prepare where they knew that he was going to play up there, I just didn't think it was going to work. But that being said, to go to your point, there were some moments where you were like, oh, I see where this is going. Or he had a few opportunities that were almost kind of good. So I kind of agree. I don't think he's the answer, but I also think that he'll probably get another run out or two before that's considered a failure.
Yeah.
Okay, next game. Leicester 0, Brentford 4. Absolute thrashing. Mbeumo, 28.5 points, goal and assist. He was definitely the star of the match. But Damsgaard played pretty darn good too with 26.25 points and 2 assists.
Like, let's be honest here. This Brentford team, like, attacking-wise, even defensive, they play so well. Freaking, what's the manager name again?
Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank. Man, the football he's playing, and without Ivan Toney, I know they didn't have Ivan Toney most of last season, but with Wissa and Mbeumo and Damsgaard, that trio is, and every once in a while, Sade.
Except for Sade missed an open header, hit the post. That was painful.
Yeah,
that was so painful. But yeah, I think honestly Thomas Frank is who I wanted Chelsea to get over Maresca. And obviously midway through the season, I was like, oh well, that was stupid of me. But now I'm like, oh, maybe we should have gotten him.
Look, Maresca is a championship manager, honestly.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think when he was doing great, he seemed invincible, but now he's not doing so great. So we'll see what happens. I think from the Leicester side, I mean, Brentford great, Pinnock's back healthy. Yeah. That's huge. I think those defenders are pretty viable, especially.
Collins.
Yeah, I think when they're when they're playing anything other than like an elite team, I think you're comfortable starting them because I think games are going to be tight. The only thing on Leicester that I thought was kind of interesting was after they were down like at half, Buonanotte came back on and he was pretty good in the first half of the season, and he looked pretty good even though he didn't really score a lot. I something to keep an eye on. Like he doesn't quite make waivers. He's not quite that guy, but I just think that if he does start starting games again, I think there is value with him in the Leicester team. Any other thoughts on this game?
Not really. They bottom side going down, got spanked.
Yeah, you're targeting that matchup if you
Yeah.
have players that are playing against Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next game, Everton 2, United 2. Everton went up 2-0 and United stormed back to win. Was it pretty though?
No. Well, Everton looked good,
Everton looked
honestly.
good.
Like Beto looks good, honestly.
Yeah.
He missed a couple like headers. We hit one right at Onana. I think he hit the post on one.
Yeah, he scored again, 19.25 points. Now I think he's officially past 50% owned. Thank God. But because he needed to be picked up. Decore, 22.5 points after coming off that yellow. It'll be interesting to see without Ndai if Decore picks up more of that creative work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you called it last week, so like, and he got a goal.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just FYI, listen.
Yeah. Bruno finally coming through. Was it a free kick, right?
Yeah.
Direct kick?
Yeah. Look, this is what we always said about Bruno. He could have a fucking stinker all game, but out of nowhere, he could bang in a goal. So.
Yeah. And he would have scored well even without the goal, but
Yeah.
obviously that helps. Ugarte got a goal. I'm not really thinking about that
not
too much. It's
not
just one of those
solid.
things that happens. I don't know. I didn't really see do you guys want to talk about the penalty, Tico? Do you have any thoughts on that?
You must have watched the game, right? You're a United fan.
It's at 4:30, man. You know I go out drinking on Fridays. I watched the extended highlights.
Motherfucker. Young was going into the box. It was crossed in. I can't remember who crossed it in, but he got a little tug from Delete and then another tug from Maguire. I feel like the ref didn't get showed every angle. It looked like a penalty just from the tugs, but Young did make the most of it. Like he did the whole flopping thing. It was originally given and then taken away. I think it was a penalty. Yeah, I don't think VAR should have got involved because it wasn't a stinker. You know what I mean? They're not maybe re-reffing the game, but them calling him to go look at the screen just felt like re-reffing the game because it was a penalty. He tugged him, stopped it from getting to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that needs to be fixed in the Premier League, and that's something that the NFL does really well. Like, it seems like the guidelines around when you can and can't make changes, or like what constitutes your ability to make a change, is a lot firmer. And in the EPL, it feels really loose in that regard.
Yeah,
You know.
still new.
Yeah, but Everton continues to impress. United still don't look great. I mean, but your last point ends up impressive second half. I mean, hopefully that builds some character and momentum for them.
Maybe.
We'll
It just
see.
honestly, the Man United team looked lost, man.
Yeah.
Until that 72nd minute, they didn't know. It wasn't like they were playing like organized football. They just were just playing football.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of uncharacteristic of Everton to give up 2 goals like that too. So I don't know if that's a testament more to United figuring it out,
Yeah.
or just the fact that Bruno scores a free kick and changes the energy. And
Yeah.
okay, next game, Bournemouth 0, Wolves 1. We did not see this one coming either, huh?
No, but we did see the one guy that scored.
Yeah, Cunha.
He's always going to score, Mr. Reliable.
Man, is he one of the best pickups of the season?
Mm-hmm.
He's up there, right?
Oh yeah.
And that team is still relying on him. Whenever I look at because when I look at the stats, I'm like, 1-0. I'm like, it's most likely Cunha. I open the and it is. It's usually he's involved at probably I don't know, half the goals probably seems that way, but
maybe
he's been so reliable, and he's also been healthy, which has always been the huge question mark for him. Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. I think it's always been like he starts going and he's really exciting, then he gets injured, and then it just takes a while to get bounce back from that stuff. But him never stopping, he's just been great.
But he does have one of those body types when you look at it. He's pretty built. He shouldn't be getting hurt. So it's been kind of, maybe it was like freak injuries before that, and hopefully he stays injury free.
It's just the Premiership, man. There's so many injuries. But to be honest, like Wolves, don't get me wrong, they got the 1-0 win, but Bournemouth went down to 10 men pretty bloody early.
They went down very early.
I don't think Bournemouth would have lost. They would have got at least a draw in this game, in my opinion. Like, that was a dirty talking tackle. You see the tackle?
Yeah, it was a red card.
Yeah, it's
a red card. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks. I mean, yeah, that definitely changed the dynamic of the game. And also, I'm also not looking at Semendo getting 13.5 points. And being like, oh, I want him, even though this is a good call you have about him having almost 40 points in the last 4 games, close to averaging 10 points a game.
Yep.
But just in general, I mean, that's what we've talked about that with the wing backs, him and Atnori.
Yeah.
But the Totti getting 16 points, I'm not sitting there being like, that's great because they were playing a man up for most of the game.
Yeah.
So I still think Tico and I kind of talked about it last week, but other than Cunha and Atnori, and then I guess maybe Semenyo, if he can keep it up, I'm not super interested in anyone else in that team.
No.
And yeah, in Bournemouth, I think you kind of just write off any bad performances, just amounting to that red card.
Because even in a loss, they still have players that scored good points.
Yeah. All right, next game. Ipswich 1, Tottenham 4. How did this feel, Enzo?
Oh, so good.
Just like a relief.
Oh, so good. Except for when they scored and then they had a goal disallowed, I shit myself going, oh, here it's happening. It's fucking happening.
Yeah. Son, 19.75 points, 2 assists. So your trade is off to a good start.
Yes, I was very happy with my trade. Actually, 2 out of the 3 did very well for me, with Trossard scoring nearly 10 points. I think it was 9.5.
Yeah.
And then, it is what it is. It worked out.
Yeah. Johnson scored 20, got a brace on his return, which is huge.
And you got to remember, this is the thing too. Tottenham players are starting to come back, and what the excuses Andrew was making about injured players is now coming, to fruition. That players are coming back. I'm going to get some results.
It was interesting. No Pedro Porro,
nope.
And no Madison. Especially after that last game when Madison was so good.
Yeah, that's what I was really upset about that at the beginning of the game. I know I messaged it in the chat room. But the Porro one I was upset about, but I sort of get it. Jed's been so good, and he was again so good. Go on.
I was going to say, obviously, I was upset about Madison as well. He did come on and have the assist, but I think he might have gotten benched because it's a mid-week games, and they're playing Man City, so possibly saving Madison. I'm hoping that's me being optimistic as the Matters owner.
Yeah. You got. It's like not a bad time to play Man City right now, at all. Especially in a short game week, and especially us being the bogey team.
I still think
the hottest team in the league.
Yeah, they have the longest win streak in the league right now.
3 in a row.
No, let's go, baby. We're back. Maybe.
Yeah.
To what?
Cool. Hutchinson got 20.5 points. I was like looking at him, and I'm not feeling great about him as like someone I'd want on the team.
Is it because he plays for Ipswich? Because that's exactly how I feel.
Kinda. But also just like, it's not like I don't think he's doing enough point wise even to justify it. I think there's other mids I'd rather bounce on.
It's for deeper leagues, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
I feel like it's the same way with the Wolves wingbacks that we were talking about. It's for deeper leagues, 12-man. I don't know, maybe go to a 14-man league. I don't know if that even exists.
Thoughts on Tell so far?
Dude, he looks good. He hasn't, he scored a goal, but he hasn't scored in the league yet, I don't think. But he looks aggressive. He's taking shots, which I fucking love. At least he's taking shots from outside the box and making runs. He had a couple blocked. I think he should have got a penalty, perfectly honest. He got fucking pushed way off the ball, but nothing given. It was ridiculous. But I like him. It's promising.
Yeah, agree. I think it'll just be, by the time he gets going, it might be the very end of the season. We're getting there. We're getting to the squeaky end of the season.
When Solanke gets healthy, do we think he gets his starting position back, or it's
probably?
Probably. But like, you got to think maybe with Europe and whatnot, because Tell's still young. We do a little bit of rotation. It's not like we're in the cups anymore. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Next game. Fulham 0, Palace 2. Again, another game, a little bit of surprise just because Fulham's been so good. But they like to give to the poor as much as they like to steal from the rich. This really just plays into the Robin Hood narrative from them.
Yeah, Robin Hood team.
Anderson, forget he plays for Fulham and scores an own goal. Oof, that's rough.
Fucking bad, man. It was a good header.
So what? It's a bunch of defender notes. Munez with 20.75 points, Lacroix 18 points, and then Richards 12.5 points, 12.6 average over the last 6 games. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we mentioned him a few games ago.
Richards, yeah. Mm-hmm. Gotta love the Americans doing well.
There you go.
What else who else was good in this game? Who got the goals in this one?
Anderson on own goal and Munez.
Oh yeah, so that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys see when Eze was just standing there in front of the defender and the defender was staring him down, and then he started like making the time gesture, like you're wasting time?
Yeah, that was on a lot of like the banter pages. I was just like, most competitive league in the world. This is the two of them staring at each other.
It's like,
but I think that's a testament to the defender not wanting to get closer to Eze. Because usually when you defend, you want to get closer to that to force them to like, some urgency. But he was so far away that Eze was like, I can do anything.
I like Eze so much. He's missing Elise, but he's not going to leave Palace because Palace won't sell him. He's going to have to run down his contract. I'd love to see him in a bigger team. Yeah,
he's one of those guys I could see either being great in a bigger team or just this might be the level. It might be like a Grealish situation where he kind of needs to be the guy a little bit.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, then send him to West Ham.
His contract ends at 2026, so can't let him walk for free.
No, they can't. Definitely
No.
not. From a Fulham perspective, Lukic had another good game for them. I also think that you can't really I'm not that stressed about it. So I'm not like Joachim Anderson was on waivers last week. He got a negative point, but I wouldn't be that opposed to starting him this week.
Oh, the facade. Look, his background. He doesn't read books.
Oh no, I got exposed.
Yeah, Fulham just had their players had a mediocre game. Iwobi had a short game. Even Robinson didn't have a good game. Obviously, the minus points on the goals isn't going to help, but he's still the best left back in the league.
Well, technically, best left back, yes, but he lost his best defender title this week. Finally, Trent finally
by 0.5, isn't it?
Yeah, half a point
by a beard hair. Okay, next game: Southampton 0, Brighton 4.
Dude, did you guys watch this game?
Yeah, I mean it was just Southampton's just bad. I mean the teams that are bad are just bad.
No, I get that, but out of all of them, there wasn't one fucking bad goal in the bunch. In this game.
Yeah, they look good.
They're all fucking good goals. So
yeah, I think this might be the lineup that's the most exciting to watch. Obviously, Welbeck's Welbeck, but him not starting and having Rutter, who's pretty established now, and then João Pedro back in. People getting nervous as João Pedro missed a few games and wasn't playing, but that's the rotation. It's just things like that. Midfield looks great. Matoma's always going to be good. I wouldn't be shocked if other big teams are going for him next year.
Well, yeah, you guys ego brushed a little bit in the January window, so now he's like, I'm worth it. You know what I mean? Let me score a couple goals here and there.
Yeah. And to add insult to injury, the only remotely interesting Southampton player, in my opinion, Jan Bendovic, got injured.
What?
So now we are just fully moving on.
Up in both my leagues, lads.
That's funny.
Fuck. Yeah.
Not much else there other than just the only risk is rotation on those attacking players. So they're just not as locked as some other teams, players. But all right, next game, Villa 2, Chelsea 1. Chelsea scored first and had a pretty good goal with a bit of a lineup change. They kind of switched to a 3-5-2. And it was interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was interesting. And it worked. It seemed like it was working well initially, but then Villa just kind of got the hang of it, and Chelsea couldn't finish some chances they had, again, a good amount of chances that they couldn't finish. And, yeah.
Did you see my note there about Palmer? Even though he hasn't had a goal contribution in 5 games, have you seen how many chances he's created in those 5 games?
Yeah, it's just the other players aren't finishing.
They're not fucking finishing. He's putting them in goal-scoring opportunities, and they're just not banging them in.
But I think it's starting to affect him, too, because he had a few really good opportunities in this game that he missed. He was getting really frustrated with players. He's starting to kind of almost act out a little bit, which you don't really love to see. So hopefully that rest can kind of curb that. But I think the bright spot was Neto. He got the assist. He looked really good. He's playing in almost more like a central attacking position, and he's the one that's stretching the field, which is kind of part of, it's partially what Jackson did. So in that sense, I found that interesting. Obviously, it wasn't great for me, but just from a Rashford and Asensio, they each had 20+ points, and they looked really good. Asensio had 2 goals. I think Rashford had 2 assists. That's a dream signings for a coach, to have both the players, both the big money players you brought in for January win you a game when you're down 1-0.
You know what's fucking hilarious is that Rashford's got 3 assists. I think he's got more assists than the 3 forwards put together at Man United.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. And he only played 45 minutes.
I mean, the second goal, I know he still got the assist, but that was on the keeper.
Okay.
It was absolutely, that was honestly the most heartbreaking thing. I think if they score a good goal and it goes in and you just go, you know what, Chelsea didn't deserve to win, but that game felt like it was going to be a draw, and that was it was sickening to have that go in as a fan, or as a fan,
Is it me or does Watkins look a step slow?
He's never been a fast player.
No, I know, but like
a step behind even the normal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is going to be a big adjustment for Watkins. Actually, it shouldn't be, because he had Bailey and Diaby last season doing similar things on the wings. But yeah, maybe he's a step slow. He's still scoring good points though. When he scores a goal, it's even better. But for the most part, he's still scoring. He's still up there.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think with Rashford and Asensio in that team too, it's only gonna you're only gonna have more chances. I don't think it's gonna be
Yeah.
The only other thing here is Enzo Fernandez was the one that got the goal for Chelsea. He continues to have a pretty strong second half of the season after all of last year and the first half of this year being like irrelevant.
Well,
So we gotta put some respect on his name for just.
Was this the first goal he scored since he got back with his wife?
It might have been. It might have been.
Good for him.
He's cheating on her.
I was cheating.
Chalobah injured.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, not great.
Defenders.
Chelsea.
It's funny. All the money you guys spend, you got like no solid 2 centre backs. Like,
Well, what? Fofana got injured.
mm-hmm.
Chalobah's not injured. Yeah, it's not the best.
Yeah.
Should have kept Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva. Oh man,
39 years old.
I'm sorry, Keith.
you know he's still playing somewhere.
Yeah, he is.
He's in Brazil.
He's
Yeah.
playing in Brazil, bro. Samba.
Man,
Samba.
Chelsea is just a mess right now. But you know what? We have Southampton next. I think I'm gonna be in full blown like just don't even watch games anymore if they lose that.
I was thinking this. They won't lose. Not to
They won't.
Southampton.
Hopefully
They're
not. Knock
fucking.
on wood.
They're horrendous.
Knock on wood. Okay, next game. Newcastle 4, Forrest 3. The scoreline I think is a little bit like makes Forrest look like they did better than they did.
But
I
they
feel like.
did. I think Forrest
Yeah.
played really well this game. Look, they scored the first goal. Hudson-Odoi, beautiful goal. Did you guys see it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Placed it left-hand side. Used fucking.
That's what he does.
Yeah, he's what he does.
He knocked those in.
But then Newcastle just turned on the Jets.
Scored
And
4.
Scored 4 on the bats. And like Lewis Hall is so good. Like, and he should have, honestly, the one where he cut it back, he should have shot.
He led the week in points with 30.25. He is good, but he's also young. Like he's coming along well. But I think there's going to be games where he doesn't. It's not like this is the new normal for him.
Well, no, but he's still having good games. He's not going to have 30 plus points every week, but
the last 2 games combined, he had 4.5 points.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I'm not like
I'm
he's
just
capable of it, but
I'm more bitter because that was against me. Sergey had him.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking like I'm not looking at fantasy wise. I'm looking at his all round game. I'm hoping Tuchel's watching. You fucking better be watching Tuchel. He's got to be in the. He's got to be.
Yeah,
in the squad.
I mean, I think the left back, right back is not an issue for England at all right now.
Yeah,
A
Trippier.
couple other notable things. Isak had a brace. That's 2 more goals for him. He's just unstoppable. Murphy with another goal just continues to just be that like kind of scrappy, just manages to make things happen guy, which is a nice balance with that kind of the pace and range of Gordon on the other side.
Yeah.
Gordon, pretty disappointing game, even though from a point standpoint, even though you think that he contributed quite a bit from like actual play. Chris Wood managed 14.5 points with an assist. So even when he's not scoring, he's still managing to contribute. MVP talk still out there.
MVP. You know who would look good on this Forest team for next season? Delap.
What when Isak leaves?
No, on the Forest team.
Oh, on the Forest team. When Wood leaves?
Like, no, because look, let's be honest here. Let's be fucking honest. He's not doing this again next season.
Well, I think he's just, I mean, how many more years does he really have?
He's got a couple more years on him. I'm just saying, like, this is a great season he's having. He's having a great fucking season. But when was the last time he had a season like this?
Yeah, but when was the last time that Forrest had a season like this too? I mean,
That's true.
These things are so intertwined. I think also when you look at Forrest, like they've kind of their form has kind of dipped in the last month, right?
Yeah.
But Wood's form hasn't.
No,
Wood's continued to be really good.
He's been continuous.
Something to note there. Okay, last game of the week: City 0, Liverpool 2. No Haaland for City. Salah got a goal, 29 points, goal and assist, breaks, matches multiple records. Still trying to single-handedly carry Tico's team. It just wasn't quite enough this week around.
Yeah, sorry, Tico.
Flobaslide, 22.5 points, goal and an assist as well.
Can't believe you benched him.
And so I can't believe that you wrote in the notes Trent dribbled past 20 times. Like some of your facts, you just get fact checked sometimes.
Sometimes you got to.
You're the most dangerous type of like false fact person too, because you're like right like 80% of the time, but you'll just slip in. You'll slip in like an absurd fact every like 15-20% of the time. That's just insane.
It was good though, but he did. It was 11 times. All right, but 20 sounds so much better.
Doku had 15 fucking dribbles completed, and he only got dispossessed once.
Wow.
Insane. So, like he's probably one of the fastest players in the league, right?
They say Traore is the fastest player in the league.
No, I'm not
I don't
saying
know if anymore.
I'm just one of the fastest players.
One of the fastest. He's a fast player, yeah.
And extremely quick, but his average speed, because he spent so much time like stopping it at the front of the ball, is his average speed is like one of the slowest ones with the ball in the league.
That's interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I would say that's his ability to accelerate is probably one of the most deadly. Because
First step,
like Van de Ven, like Mickey Van de Ven and stuff, they say he has the fastest like running speed, like top distance.
Yeah.
But like, his ability, like he's not stopping and starting again the way that Doku is at the pace that Doku is.
He's also got the wicked hamstrings.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, Doku 20.5 points with no goal contributions. That's pretty insane.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah. This is why you can't drop like a Doku.
Okay, you're right. I get it. But it's not every time he starts. This is not. I mean, when he starts against someone, he's the type of guy when he smells blood and he sees someone he knows he can beat, he just beats him over and over and over again. He's like kind of like a bully.
He is.
He's like, look at this little bitch ass Fred Alexander-Arnold. I'm gonna run past him 11 times.
Look, I'm gonna show you. He can't defend.
That was like, I told you that was the joke with Doku, is that whenever he played against a defender that was over 30, he had a great game because he just knew that he's like, this guy can't catch me.
He can't catch him.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I was watching that game. I'm like, I don't want Trent in Real Madrid. This guy sucks.
Yeah, he's just not really.
God.
That's why I think a lot of people have had that issue before with Trent. It's just like he's such a good attacking defender, but his defensive work is just not. But it's not high enough of a level.
Yeah, that's how win backs are now. Like at Marcelo, one of the greatest left backs of all time, couldn't defend for shit.
But he wasn't that bad of a defender.
He wasn't. No, I'll give it to Tico. He wasn't. But you know what was really good in that Real Madrid team?
Casemiro.
Yeah, fair enough.
Did you guys see? He said personally the best football he played was last year for Manchester United.
No, he fucking did it. Did he?
He said that, and I read it and I said, "You fucking liar."
He's a fucking liar.
Is that kind of like what when Mourinho was like my biggest accomplishment was getting second with Manchester United? Because he was like, it was like the team was so shit that it was like the fact that I was able to get second is truly one of the things I'm most proud of. I don't know if that's what Casemiro means too. He's like, yeah, the team didn't do well, but the fact that we even like won anything
we're relevant
is a testament to how good I was playing.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, other notes: bottom three teams had all four put past them this weekend. They all had four put past them this weekend.
Yeah, all got spanked. Just letting it know, it's gonna be this is gonna be the first time in consecutive seasons where the three that moved up get chopped down.
Oh, it's the first time that's gonna happen?
Yeah, it's never happened before.
It just speaks to the league is getting
the difference between the levels. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So if you could take one player from each team, I like this, Enzo. So from Ipswich,
Delap.
Still up.
Okay, Southampton.
The defender.
Yeah. Okay, Leicester.
What's his name?
Marty.
Nah, not Vardy.
El Canoes.
Buonanotte. Oh, Buonanotte. One of those two. They're the only ones.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, for it, Ipswich, there's also
the left back, innit?
Yeah, but Mirik, Leif Davis has been injured, right?
Leif Davis. No, he's there. He's
just sucking.
Yeah, he's just sucking, but he's there.
For Leicester, I would also Ndidi.
Ah, yeah. And Muric is a journeyman. He's gonna play for like 20 clubs by the time he's done.
Yeah,
I could see this being his last top flight season. The amount of mistakes he makes is too much. Sorry,
he got benched.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He got benched on that team.
That's true.
All right, some notes here, Enzo. This is kind of fun. You did this. You pulled out the top position, top three from each position from players. So we're sitting on forwards. We're sitting on Salah with 565.25 points. Wait, what?
Keith, before we get into this, let's all of us as we go through it, pick with the most surprising one afterwards from like every position.
Okay, every forward position. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be pretty clear.
It's gonna be pretty clear.
It's gonna be clear.
No, we'll do from like every position combined the most surprising one. So it's not limited. Yeah.
So Salah, 565.25 points in first. Mbuemo, 408.25 points in second, and Isak, 377.5 points in third.
Obviously,
Mbuemo, right?
Obviously, Mbuemo. One, him even being on the list, but two, being ahead of Isak with the season that he's having, that's crazy.
Well,
that's crazy.
How many games have they played? Isak's on 24 and Mbuemo's on 26. Oh, shit, it's only 2 game difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think even arguably more surprising is that the Haaland isn't on this.
There you go, and he's fourth, but he's fourth.
Yeah.
He's still fourth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think obviously when you look at this Mbuemo, best value,
best value. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Haaland's behind Isak by 2 points.
Yeah, I know, but okay. Midfielders, Palmer, 445.5 points. Bruno Fernandes, 327.5 points. Kluivert, 295.5 points. Man, those are some fairly big gaps.
Mm-hmm. Showing you that remember how last year was defenders? I think this year's is midfielders.
Midfielder's been a really rough position.
Yeah.
For sure. Obviously, the biggest surprise is Kluivert, though.
Has to
without
be.
a doubt. I mean, was he even drafted in most leagues?
But
No.
you got to think also that it's because he had 2 hat-tricks.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his median score, is that the one where it would be as crazy.
Wouldn't be as crazy.
But still not. I mean, still a huge
Dude,
win,
two hat-tricks that could have won you your week both those weeks. You know what I mean, if you had him.
Oh, of course, it definitely won people weeks.
Yeah.
But I mean, his scores are kind of all over the place. It's just I think it's more a statement on how poor the midfielder position is.
In those 2 games combined, he had 84 points.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Which a lot's for what, almost
211 points.
A third of his.
Yeah, leaving with 211.
Yeah, it's almost a third of his total points.
You like my math there, Tico?
Well, no, because Keith was trying to do percentage, and you just did basic math. That was the funny part of it. You're like, let me do 294 minus 84.
Okay, moving on. Defenders. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the number 1 defender in the league now, with 333.5 points.
Fuck it, America.
Anthony Robinson, 333 points, and Daniel Nunez with 331.5 points. That's the tightest.
I was going to say,
of all of them.
That'll be the surprising thing for me is how tight it is, how there isn't. Tarkowski is still relevant. I think he's 4th or 5th still.
4th.
But
it's a pretty big gap, whereas these are like within 2 points. Tarkowski's at 290. It's 40 points.
40 points. Yeah.
So what, Munez? But he had such a good season last season, didn't he?
We knew. I mean, he was someone that I was banging my drum for. I just didn't fall to me in any drafts, but I really liked him.
I think Robertson's probably the one where we didn't realize he was going to be this good.
Yeah, I think easily Robinson. Munez was looking pretty good at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Goalkeepers: Flecken, 262.5. Matt Sells, 242. Pickford, 229.5. Easy here, Flecken, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was solid. He was always like a solid goalkeeper, but I think it's just a matter of that perfect balance of like clean sheets and shots on target, right? And there's goalkeepers are one of the weirdest ones.
Yeah,
it's very rarely you can predict. That's one of the hardest things to predict in my mind.
Yeah, it is. And you want a top goalkeeper in your mind, but sometimes, like as you know, Keith, having a top goalkeeper in your top team doesn't always get you points.
It's very true.
And I think it was 2 weeks ago when we were talking about, you said you have David Raya.
Oh my God, I knew it was coming. Go on.
You had David Raya. You're like, I had never have to worry about adding a goalkeeper or a deal like that. But you played a different goalkeeper that same week.
When?
I'll go back to the match and look at it. But
you got it. But you didn't play David Raya? You haven't played David Raya every game?
No,
I played one game about David Raya. I can't remember why. There was a reason behind it.
It was probably matchup based, whoever they were playing. But
that's so ridiculous. That's so funny.
It was against me. You benched David Raya because they were playing Manchester City.
Uh-huh.
And instead you played Jorgensen, the new starting goalkeeper for Chelsea, who gave you. Yeah.
Wait. Finish that.
Jorgensen had more points.
Okay. Did I do anything wrong?
No, you didn't. But I'm just saying it was funny that you mentioned that you never have to worry about like benching the.
Sometimes you got to pivot, man. You got to know when to pivot.
Yeah. Be flexible.
Pivot.
Be flexible. Okay, let's move on waivers real quick and let's get out of here. The number 1 name on here for me, and this is a weird week. I'm not saying it like I don't know if this is number 1, but this is one that was like the sexiest one for me. Was James Ward-Prowse.
Can't believe you changing your tone.
Well, I always thought was that if he's going to play, I think he's going to score points. Mm-hmm. And last year we saw him not really getting a lot of starts, and then obviously that loan move and everything just felt really weird. So that's why I was pretty off it. But he came on 2 games ago, got an assist. He came on, had halftime. 3 games ago he came on, got an assist. Mm-hmm. Came on at halftime 2 games ago, played really well. Yeah. And then he played the full game against Arsenal and was pretty locked down. Like they looked pretty good. He got 8.5 points. I mean, I think it's just like it's kind of speculative, but I think there's something there. And they play Leicester next, which is if we're playing matchups, that's just seems like a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm into that. Another one I have on here that's a little like they're all kind of wonky this week is Evanilson is he made the bench.
He's back from injury.
He's back from injury, so he made the bench.
Okay.
You know, I think at the best of times he's like kind of a frustrating player, but I think he was doing enough to warrant being like almost a starter, like borderline, like off the bench starter guy.
Whose spot will he take?
Otara.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's so quick. Remember that he literally drew 3 penalties in one game.
That's right.
He's like,
that's right.
He's a good player, and I think to him it's just a matter of if I don't know if this because obviously we haven't spoken about it yet, but like the games are midweek.
Yeah.
So I think I might be too soon for him to start this midweek. So just someone to keep an eye on. But he's on there. Another name on here that I think it's pretty ridiculous he hasn't been picked up is Jorginho Rutter. 43% of leagues. What's that?
I picked him up.
Oh, you picked him up. Nice.
Yeah.
But he's definitely been doing enough to get rostered. And Brighton is like a little tough with the amount of rotation they have. But it's looking like this Pedro Rutter Mitoma thing that looked pretty good last week. So
there's a good goal too.
It's pretty good. Yeah, he got a goal. He's had a few. I think he's had like 4 goals in his last like 5 games. You know, he
scored very well.
Looks solid. Yeah, looks solid. And it's nice to see that him and João Pedro can play in the same team. It's just you feel good about it.
Yeah.
Another one on here is someone that last week I was like, I don't know, but now I think I'm coming around to is Sasha Lukic. He's a midfielder, owned in 6% of leagues. I'm always hesitant to roster CDMs just because I think that they can be so when they're bad, they're like zeros.
Like because they don't get no ball time at all.
But he's really looking strong and keeps putting in good performances. And I think the standout stat for me is that in the last 3 games, he's had 10 key passes.
Wow, that's good.
That's really good.
It's 20 points right there.
That's there's some star attacking midfielders that aren't doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, if he's able to accomplish, and especially him being able to accomplish that from a deeper position, kind of speaks to that there's actually some strategy to that. It's not just like a fluke thing. Like a few weeks ago when Tyler Adams got like a few good games in a row, it felt fluky. But this maybe feels like there's numbers there that make it feel a little less fluky to me.
Tyler Adams had a couple other he had a bad game after that, but then he had another good game after it. It's just I think you're right. I think it's matchups and use your gut, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just that when it's bad, it's really bad.
Yeah.
For those guys. Okay, defenders, it's a little bit of like a hodgepodge. Patrick Dorgu.
I like him.
I think Jed Spence is probably my number 1 if he's still available. De Ligt, Anderson, and Dorgu are then all behind that. I'd probably go Dorgu, Anderson, De Ligt in that order. Behind Jed Spence. Defensive pickups.
Can't believe no one's picking up Jed Spence too. Like he played on the right, and then Porro came on. Udogie came off. Honestly, Udogie didn't look that good. Yeah. He's making mistakes. He just gives away the ball too much.
He gives away the ball too much, yeah. And in dangerous positions.
And then Spence moved over to the left, so that just shows you how he's thinking, Big Ange. So we'll see.
I mean, I think Spence is a right back by trade, right?
He's a right back.
It's injuries what caused him to be over there, but
yeah. But at least he's taking his opportunities. You know, some players don't do that. He takes his opportunity. So
totally. No, I think Spence. I think what that's proven to me is that he values Spence as the number 1 of those 3 positions. You know.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll be interesting to see. It might just be that Udogie just isn't quite there yet, but we'll see.
It's also the midweek games too. We'll see.
Yeah,
what happens.
It's true. So we'll see what happens there. All right, that's waivers. Moving on to next week. It's crazy. It's a midweek, so there might be some really messy rotations and lineups. And I think if there's ever a time to like just free up some space on your bench just for these moments, just make sure you don't get stuck. You don't get stuck. You know, having Wednesday games that you can't replace people for.
So many fucking injuries, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually lucky with the midweek games because on Tuesday, I don't have a lot of players that are playing, and the ones I have that are like must start. Whereas everyone is playing on Wednesday, and then the Thursday's game is West Ham Leicester City. I, again, don't have any players.
No one gives a shit.
No, it actually matters when it, like
no, I'm talking about the Thursday game. No one gives a shit about that one.
The Thursday, yeah, West Ham,
yeah. Unless you have Bowen or Wan-Bissaka, you're solid. You know they're going to start. And Kudus,
yeah. But those are all locked in. They're all starting.
Yeah, they're locked in. But because it's on Thursday, you know they're definitely locked in.
Yeah. Because on Sunday, this past Sunday, Newcastle for the City and Liverpool, those were like three of them are like big impact teams. So you kind of had to wait until last minute.
You think the season's over?
You think first place? Yeah, I think the only things that are interesting, and even the relegation, I think is pretty close to over. I think that what's really interesting is the top 4.
Yeah, well, top
4
5
is interesting. Top 5.
Yeah. Top 5 now.
Top 5 is where the real juice is.
EPL get 5 teams in the Champions League?
They're in the lead at the moment. They're
It's
in the
very,
lead at the
very
moment.
likely they're going to get 5.
But we got fucked with the Champions League fucking
the draw, all the
draw.
English teams on one side.
I don't know how the fuck that happened.
That seems like it should be illegal. It's just also it's going to make some boring games if they make it through.
Mm-hmm. There was some like what Real Madrid, Atletico. Why?
Madrid, that's going to be boring one. Their games are always boring.
Mm-hmm.
Bayern Munich versus
Leverkusen. That was too soon.
Yeah,
soon.
I think there should be one more round where you can't face a team.
So Real Madrid was either going to get Atletico or Leverkusen, which would have been amazing because Xabi Alonso would have managed against this future team.
That's interesting.
Oh, you always gotta just ruin it. Like you say something good and then you just like shit all over it. You know what
I mean? It's everyone knows this. It's gonna happen.
Who knows this? You wishing it happens. You're wishing. He'll probably coach Chelsea before he coaches Real Madrid.
Oh, don't say that. Don't jinx us.
What, you don't want Xabi Alonso?
No, I do, but I just feel like you're just making it sound like you say it's like Coach Chelsea. Like that's so absurd.
He'll go to Liverpool if he goes to EPL.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But Arne Slot's not going nowhere. That guy's fucking doing the business. So,
dude,
is this the best manager debut season like ever in the Premier League?
If he wins the league and the Champions League, I fucking think it would be.
Maybe Jose's first season.
No, did Zinedine Zidane win it on his first season? The Champions League?
Yeah.
Did he win did he get a trouble on his first season?
No. Real Madrid have never got into trouble. I think Arne Slot has the most points like year to date as far as like new managers go with the new team.
Interesting.
But also a lot of times when new managers come to a team, a lot of times the team's not that great. Usually they fire someone or whatnot.
Yep. No, you're very true. It's very rare that a team is like in its like the peak of its cycle when a manager decides to leave. Did
Mourinho win on his first year?
I forget right now. I think he might have.
But he
didn't win he never won the Champions League with Chelsea, so I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because that Chelsea team was pretty good when he got there.
Was it? Who was the coach? Ranieri before him?
Yeah, I think so. Claudio Ranieri. Yeah.
He's a good manager too, perfectly nice.
Yeah, he's still coaching. I think he's at Roma now.
Yes, correct.
All right. Anything we need to talk about these matchups? It's so fast. I mean, it's not even. These games are going to be over.
No, like even waiver wire is going to be tight. Like honestly, you're going to be looking at like some hoping people miss out. Like Tuesday, the game you want to see is probably going to be Wolves and Fulham. I think that's going to be fun to watch. 2 attacking teams that want to score goals.
That's interesting. That's the one, huh?
And Brighton Bournemouth. Those 2 games are probably
I think those are both fun games.
Mm-hmm. I think Palace is going to sit back against Villa. Southampton's going to, dig in against Chelsea. Wednesday, hopefully Tottenham can be the bogey team to Man City still. Dude, if Man United lose to Ipswich, that'd be fucking hilarious.
I think Liverpool, Newcastle United's going to be better than you think, just because Newcastle's been on such a tear. Yeah. Like, Newcastle's they've scored 4 goals in the last 2 games.
Dude,
each.
And they're plus 425. I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe the odds are that good.
That's an interesting one.
It's an interesting one, right?
Newcastle's plus 425?
Yeah.
Well, it's at Anfield.
It must be at Anfield.
It is at Anfield.
But I think that's just I still haven't, obviously Liverpool looks super good against City. Kind of just talked about that, but it's not like they've been so dominant. They're really legit professional, but they weren't dominant.
I think it's been being said that they're not playing like the best they could be. They could be so much better.
They haven't needed to.
No, because Salah's been carrying them.
You say I'm supposed to be hurt by that. You're supposed to draft the best players, idiot.
I still think though, it's going to be interesting in the Champions League. I think that's the only place where the lack of a really great striker might be a problem for Liverpool. Is in the Champions League when they get to the latter stages. If they get through and play Real Madrid, not having that type of presence and stuff, that's where you just be curious. That's where I think the real test will come for them. Because I think they've pretty much wrapped up the Premier League.
I'd fucking love to see that as a final puffing list.
Fortunately, Liverpool?
They're on the same side of
it. They're on the same side. I'm not going to see it.
Because Barcelona got the easy side.
Of course, they always do.
Yeah.
As always.
But it's going to be... The left side, whoever wins it comes out, it's going to be pretty insane, epic. And then, I don't know if you guys saw it, if Jose Mourinho has a chance to play against Roma, Manchester United, and one other team he managed
in
against.
the Europa.
Yeah,
That's
some other
amazing.
team. I think Tottenham.
The Mourinho revenge tour.
Yep.
Fuck you, Mourinho. I'm sorry. You should have won us a cup, and we fired you.
Well, that was Levy's
so
fault.
stupid.
That was Levy's fault.
Anyway,
But all right, guys, that's it for me. I gotta get out of here.
all right,
Yep.
lads.
This
Are
has
you guys-
been. Oh, what are you gonna say, Tigo?
No, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say if you guys are working on Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe catch a match.
I have to go to the office both days.
I work all the way through the
Officially.
week. I'm only off Saturday this week.
All right, this has been episode, I don't even know, 79 of Draft Offsides. I'm with Tico and Enzo. My name is Keith. We are on everything at Draft Offsides. Follow us on YouTube, on Twitter, on X, on TikTok, all the places.
Yeah.
All right, see you next week. If not sooner, well, next week, right? We'll